Okay, so can you just start with like a general overview of like why your family moved to the United States?
Yes, I moved here in 2006 because my dad's job needed an office opened in the US.
Okay.
So they offered him the position, and after a long time of thinking about it, he took it, and then we chose to move to Georgia.
Okay. Do you know why like Georgia was the place?
My dad wanted to be close to an airport because like for his work he traveled a lot, and the Atlanta airport is the best. And I mean Georgia has all 4 seasons, like nice weather, great schools,
True. Yeah.
all that.
Okay. So are you guys all citizens of the U.S.?
Me, my dad, and my brother have dual citizenship.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So we have both. My mom only has her Danish citizenship, and she's here on a green card.
Cool.
So
Okay.
all of us do except my mom.
Okay. Awesome. Have you returned to Denmark since you immigrated to the U.S.?
Yes. When we first moved here, we used to go back every Christmas,
Aww.
and now it's like every other Christmas, just
Okay.
like.
Cool. So you have family there still,
Yeah.
like a lot of family?
Not very much actually. That's why we don't go back as much now. We just
Okay.
fly my grandmother over instead
Okay.
of going all the way home.
Cool. How have you preserved your culture and upbringing?
In my house, we still do like all the Danish traditions. So like those are really like still strong with us, and we still speak like when I'm at home, we speak Danish.
Really?
All the
That's
time.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So like what kind of traditions do you guys like have that you have preserved?
We do Christmas very big. That's a very big holiday for us. So it's like the month of December, every Sunday you get a little gift.
Oh, cool.
And then like we do big Christmas on the 24th at night.
Okay.
And then we do like this big thing, like we eat dinner and then we walk around the Christmas tree and sing songs.
Oh, cool.
It's a very big tradition. And then you have like coffee and tea, and then you open gifts, but you do gifts one at a time.
Okay.
And like the kids go get the gifts, they read them out, everyone watches that one person open the gift, and then you go to the next one.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a very long process.
Very personal, yeah.
And
A
then
very long process.
the day, 3 days after Christmas, so like the 3 following days, you do a dinner at normally like in Denmark when we do it, you do a dinner at a different person's house, so like a different relative's house, and it's just like you call it like the first day of Christmas, second day of Christmas, third day of Christmas.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it's like a big ordeal.
Yeah, that is a big ordeal. What are some times that you have felt like an outsider because you couldn't relate to the culture of your peers?
I would definitely say like when I first moved here, like not knowing English
Okay.
was the big one. So like being thrown right into the school system, like not really speaking English was a hard one, and I didn't have any friends when I first moved here. I was very left out. But like after learning the language and like getting used to it, it was pretty easy.
Okay. So when did you, so that was like one of my other questions is, so you didn't know English prior to moving here. When did you first get comprehension?
I think it's just because like I was thrown into it. It was so easy to learn. I did, when I first moved here, I started in elementary school, and I had what you call like ESOL, I guess. So like they helped me out with that, but I mean, when you're thrown into a new country with a different language, you don't have a choice but just learn it on your own.
Okay.
So like a lot of TV helped me learn. Watching a lot of TV and just like watching the people around me came right natural.
Okay, that's interesting. What kind of challenges have your family faced as a result of moving here?
I would again say the language barrier. The only person who knew English was my dad.
Okay.
So like me, my mom, and my brother all had to like get over that challenge. I would also just say the fact that like Danish people and American people are very different. So like us like getting used to like making friends who were very different than us and like getting over that. And then obviously like being away from your family could be really challenging because it's not like it's just a short card right away. Like when something happened, we had to like get on the plane for 14 hours and like
Oh my
go
What's
home.
one specific memory that sticks out to you about your childhood in Denmark?
I feel like the one memory that I always go back to is like the day my dad asked me how I'd feel about moving to America, because I was very like, I mean, like we could do it for a little bit, like, because like it was originally just supposed to be for 3 years and we were supposed to move back.
Wow.
So I was like, I mean, we could do it, and then it became so real. Like the house was being packed up, like papers were being filed, and then we were all like we were gone.
Wow.
So like that's like a memory that like out of everything, like that's the one I think about.
So what was like the time frame between like him asking you and like you guys moving here?
It was about like maybe a year, maybe a little less than a year. Yeah, it's a pretty long process.
Yeah, I bet. What is the most difficult aspect of moving here? Just like for you, I guess, personally. I mean, you've talked about language, but is there anything?
I would say that like the school system was very different, which I was not expecting it to be. In Denmark, it's very like you come in the morning, you have like a recess, and then the way the classes work is that like you're in the same classroom the whole day, and the teacher switches.
Oh, okay.
So, like the subject comes to you, and it's just a lot more like outside, like letting the kids like do what they want to do, like run around, play around. I mean, this was also elementary school, so it's a little bit younger, but that was something that was very different.
So do you think that the American school system like helped you or hurt you in your academics?
I would say it helped me also because like I didn't experience much of the Danish school, but I would say it helped me because as much as those like recesses and all that is very fun, like it wasn't always so focused, if that makes sense.
And when you guys moved here, did you move to like where you live now, or were you guys closer to Atlanta?
I was originally in Marietta.
Okay, cool.
And then I went to school there for 2 years maybe, and then we moved to where I am now.
Okay, cool. What was your favorite thing about American traditions and cultures when you first moved here?
I really like, I think cultures, I think holidays, I don't know why.
No, I definitely agree.
I really like Thanksgiving. That's not something we do in Denmark. That's not a tradition we have. But I think it's like, it's kind of like a mini Christmas. Like everyone's together, like a lot of food, a lot of fun, a lot of family. And I really like that. I think that like just the culture of like, of just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like the difference between like Denmark and here when it comes to religion is very big. So like it's just kind of cool to see the big difference.
And like in what ways like would you say that Denmark is like more religious or less religious?
I would say just because Denmark is a much older country, religion has really died out. Like there really is no religion anymore. Like churches are not used for religious purposes. They're used for like weddings and celebrations. Like religion just isn't a thing really anymore.
Interesting. Okay, I can see that. What was like your least favorite thing about America when you moved here?
When I first moved here, I did not like any of the food.
Oh, really?
I hated the food. I thought it was disgusting. I've like come to like love it now, obviously, but like that was a big thing. I think also just like just the way like y'all like are so different in the way like you know how you say the difference between like Southerners and Northerners? It's kind of the same thing. Like y'all just act way different than we do, and y'all do things differently. And like this land is massive compared to where I'm from. Like it's a very big place. Yeah.
Like, do you have any like American pet peeves that like like what in the world?
A lot of Americans are very late.
Yes.
They're not on time. Danish people are very much about like punctuality, like being on time. I would say the inability to make decisions. Like I have a lot of my friends are like, I don't know, like we can make plans, but like I'll call you later, like we can do this, maybe we can do that, blah blah blah, and like that drives me crazy because like that's just like not how we do things. It's like you make a plan, you stick to the plan, you execute, like you do it.
Yeah, you do it.
It's very rare.
That's interesting. Do you think you identified more with being an American or being from Denmark?
American.
Really? Can you talk about that a little bit?
I think it's just like when you're put into it, like I speak English every day. I'm in the English school system or like the American school system. All my friends are American. Like you just like come to like, a lot of people ask me if I think in Danish or if I think in English, but like I think in English.
Okay.
I very rarely think in Danish unless I'm actually in Denmark and like I start to get into the rhythm, like talking Danish, then I start to think in Danish, but 100%.
Wow, that's interesting. When was the last time that you went back to Denmark?
3-4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. What about like the university system? Like how do you think that like compares to here?
It's very different.
It is. Can you just like talk about that?
So, you do the whole like elementary school, like middle school. Our high schools over there are called university.
Okay.
And then like if you choose to obviously go on to college, like the same you do here, the college system pays you.
Oh, we like that.
Yeah. So like it depends on like if you live on your own, if you live with your parents, how far you live from campus. Like you get a certain amount of money for going to college. Also because a lot of people in Denmark don't always go to college. Like it's not as necessary as it is here. I think just from like my experience of like those first years when I was in school, it's very, at least in the early years, it's very laid back. It's not as like strict.
And it's not as like college focused, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So interesting. If you could tell everyone one thing about Denmark, like that we absolutely have to know, what would it be?
Denmark is actually voted the nicest people on earth for
Oh.
many years running, and I think that's really accurate because like you go there, you never really see anyone who like argues. It's a very happy country. Like everyone's really happy. And I don't know. I just think that's such a cool fact.
That is really cool. So what would your definition of home be?
See, because I say home, I can be like, oh, like I go home this time, I go home, blah blah blah. But like, I feel like my definition of home is just where my family is.
Okay.
It's like they are kind of my home. Like moving here without any friends, not being able to speak the language, I depended on them a lot. So like wherever my family is my home.
Yeah, I think that's like also hard because like when you're in college, you're like, okay, going home now, and you're like going back to Milledgeville, but then you're like, but that's my home. Like,
yeah, I say it all the time. I'm like, I'm going home.
Yeah,
home.
My mom gets mad about that when I do that. Okay, so just like wherever your family is.
Yeah.
So just your grandma lives in Denmark now?
I have my dad's mother, my mom's brother.
Okay.
And then that's really it. I don't have any cousins.
Oh, interesting.
Because both my dad is an only child. My mom's brother didn't have any kids. So I don't have any cousins. I don't have a lot of like distant family. So it's very small, and that's why we don't go back as much anymore. We just fly my grandma and my mom's brother out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do they like that, or?
Yeah, just because, I mean, coming to America is like a little bit of a vacation for them.
Yeah.
Like we take them to the beach, we take them to Florida, we do fun things. But
take them to Florida.
Going to Denmark, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's a very small country.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, so where in Denmark are you from? I like don't know anything about it.
I was born in Copenhagen, which is like the capital.
Yeah.
And then I lived just a little bit outside of like the thing that like is funny about like here in Denmark. It's like here you're like, oh, I have to drive to like Kroger, it'll take me 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes in Denmark is a long ride.
Yeah.
People are like, oh no, we're not leaving the house now. If that's gonna take us 20 minutes, that's fine.
Do you have like anything else that like you would want anyone to know about like coming to the US, or like any successes or I don't know, tribulations?
I would definitely say like don't be afraid to like talk about culture and like don't be afraid to like take up those cultures. Like you will not lose your own. Like I still very much do mine and the American ones. So like I don't want anyone who moves over to be afraid that they're gonna like lose their own cultures just because they try new ones. I think that's very important.
That is true. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.